Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is December the 29th, 2022, and today the topic is Seeing Through the Haze. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Uh, I hesitate to share some information because some of it doesn't have to do with me, but obviously it's significant. Um, on one hand, my friend and I played the game again, right? She invited me to come and get the training. um, and once again, something got in the way, but unfortunately, this time it was some bad news. And um, yeah, so I'm just going to keep her and her family in prayer. And honestly, at this point, I'm really starting to feel like we should probably stop playing this game because it don't seem like I'm supposed to be doing the job. And so I don't know if God would go to such drastic measures for me to not do the job. Because I know even my husband was like, well, maybe something, maybe it's the flip side, something is trying to block you from doing it. Because it can be a blessing. Because on one hand, again, weekly checks does sound great. You know what I mean? It sounds like it could be a blessing and enhance everything that I have going on and that I'm trying to do and create, especially here on GSL. However, I don't know if I've ever had so much like blatant confirmation in my life, to be honest. Like I'm talking about every time that we plan to get together, something has gotten in the way, like every single time. And honestly, not that I think that, the bad news that she receives directly is a result of, us trying over and over, but it just I don't know. I don't know. So with that being said, we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I know, she's probably not in the place to talk about these things at the moment and whatnot. I'll see how she wants to move forward and stuff like that. I guess technically, I'm still kind of open. If it be God's will for me to do, you know what I mean? I'm open, right? But regardless of all that, praying for her and her family. And yeah, so that was something significant that happened yesterday that I guess I can't help but acknowledge. Other than that, not too much happened. I had a conversation with a young lady. I don't know if I told y'all, but God did see fit for me to get booked in advance for 2023. And that is a friend of mine booked some basically like acting lessons or coaching or whatever the case is for her sister for Christmas. So she booked in advance, maybe like 8 sessions with me for her sister. And so I just kind of did a consultation with her yesterday, just kind of see where she was, see what I could do to enhance and help, and what can we focus on in the sessions that we have. And so, yeah, so I think we got a good idea of what we could start working on and everything like that. So that was something significant that happened yesterday. And other than that, I just was pretty much trying to get rest because I thought that I was going to be doing this training, but yeah, that's pretty much what yesterday looked like. Me and my family has been tearing up the family soup, so the family soup is almost gone. I'm like, usually pots like this last maybe a week, maybe, but not this pot. Maybe I didn't make enough. I don't know, but it's getting gone. It is getting gone. I think there might be a few scoops left. Somebody might get some today, but yeah. Woo, sorry y'all. Hiccups. But yeah. So that's something. Yeah, that's what yesterday looked like for me. Hey, look. Is this word trying to get blocked on today? My goodness, I'm gonna take me a sip of water. Got the hiccups out of nowhere. All right. So this conversation today, seeing through the haze. So basically, I'm inspired by the prayer meditation that I listened to this morning. Um, Once again, it was saying, kind of touching on saying yes to God's vision for 2023, everything like that. Um, I wish I had written down the little quote that was on the main page when I listened to it this morning. I didn't write it down. Basically, if I have some time in the after show, then I'll read it for y'all. That those that care. If I remember to do it, then I'll read it. So sorry, podcast people, you have to watch live to see what that actually said, or just go to what's it called? Go to Soul Space app, because that's what I use every day to get my mind right for this Bible study that I get ready to do and embark on. So y'all can by all means go and listen to it for yourself. But that was pretty much my inspiration for today. And it just kind of had me thinking about, like, I mean, obviously 2023 and God's vision for me in particular, but I mean, obviously I think everybody should think about, like, what is God's vision for you in this upcoming new year. And I was, kind of focused on the concept of, like, seeing it clearly. But as I kind of was looking up verses centered around that, it wasn't resonating for some reason. So I just was like, okay. So I just kept looking. I just kept, I was trying to go deeper, and I started looking up, like, transparency and seeing things clearly, and just all these different things I was looking up. But ultimately, at some point, I can't remember what got me to do it, but at some point, maybe the phrase seeing through the haze came into my heart and mind. And so I looked that up, and that's when the verses started to resonate. That's when things started to kind of get put together like a puzzle, I guess. And I started to, I guess, see things clearly about what to talk about today, or at least what to share in regards to these Bible verses and whatnot. And so yeah, that's the inspiration. That's where it came from. And so let's get into it. So when I looked up the definition of haze, it says a slight obscurance or obscurator, something like that, of the lower atmosphere, typically caused by fine suspended particles. And the second definition says a state of mental obscurity or confusion. So, I mean, that could have been, like, representing me this morning in some ways, because I felt like I wasn't seeing clearly what I was supposed to say today, and share and even, study. Because on one hand, I was getting confirmation about seeing things clearly, right? And maybe, getting a clear vision, transparency, all these different things that you think would help me to see things clearly. But obviously, this idea of haze or fog or something obscuring the vision was more so where the Lord was leading me this morning. And then as I, ended up going deeper, and I looked up the definition of obscuration, and that says the action of hiding or concealing something. Now, I mean, I can acknowledge that there may be things that God has hidden from us. There may be things that it's Him that is blocking the total vision of, His plan and what He's doing and everything like that. Maybe, I mean, not say for good and bad reasons, but that's the only way I can say it at this morning at 6 in the morning. Like, maybe, yeah, for good and bad reasons, right? For good, maybe, maybe it'll help us to seek Him more, maybe it'll help us to draw nearer to Him for the answers, things like that. For bad, maybe it might, and I say bad, but it's only in our opinion, it might be bad to, again, withhold some information for us that we don't need to know. This reminds me, this is crazy, but I didn't even think about this, but this reminds me of, like, something my mom, shared with me. She said that she, had dreams about, her life, there were things that she had pieces of, like she dreamed about having 2 children. She dreamed about, imminent end. She dreamed about, kind of in some ways 2 marriages, even though she didn't see it that way. I guess in her dream, but and something happening to her first husband, which y'all may know that listen to me on here, that my father passed with by a heart attack and whatnot. And things like that. Now, if the Lord showed her every piece of what was going to happen, maybe she would have never got married. You know what I'm saying? Because then she would have been afraid that whoever she married would pass, so maybe God didn't, from what I'm understanding, he didn't give her that clear vision, right? He didn't give her that full transparency of the situation, he gave her a piece, and that sometimes that's all we need to know. Like some things, again, is above our pay grade in what we should know and understand. Because of things like that. I mean, God is not going to foil his own plan by revealing things to you that you don't need to know at a certain time, and or until a certain time, or whatever the case is. So, I mean, that could be the reason. That might be bad to us, but all things work together for the good of those who love God, right? And we have to believe and receive that. I know even this morning, like as I was kind of going and debating and even just getting back on social media and just looking and just, I don't know, maybe in some ways trying to clear my mind or whatnot. I came across, I think I was looking up a quote. That was the other thing too. I shared so many quotes throughout the day for those that follow us, especially on our Facebook. I will end up sharing a lot of quotes and things like that I come across throughout the day to hopefully encourage and inspire. I know that people that follow my my acting page on Facebook, I tend to get feedback there a lot, and I feel like people have said time and time again that the things that I share, they need, like it resonates with them, and it's like something that they needed to hear in that particular moment. And again, how am I to know? I just try to take time, and like when I see something encouraging or inspiring or something that I want to keep on my heart and mind, or maybe to encourage and inspire myself, that's kind of how I look at things. Like, for example, if I see something, pertaining to the faith and in Christ and all those type of things, I would put it on the GSL page, right? Things that are just like in general, encouragement and all this type of stuff, I might put it on my personal page, or Miracle Sims page, basically. And but regardless, like both of those things, I post things throughout the day. And so I was looking for a quote that I had come across because I was thinking that it was going to coincide with this conversation this morning. And eventually, I don't know, I ended up on Instagram. I don't know. And I see this thing that I've seen before. I guess obviously somebody else is sharing it. And it's this concept of like, it's saying that, basically the debate about whether Christ was black or white basically doesn't matter because Christ isn't real. And then the person goes on to say that the Bible shouldn't be taken literally and all these different type of things. And I get it. There's all these narratives that again, people, you got the free will to believe whatever you want to believe. That's what God has given us, that, so to each their own, and everything like that. Now, do I agree? Do I believe that what that individual had to say in X, Y, and Z? I mean, no. Am I going to debate that person? I thought about it, but I'm like, I'm not necessarily led to. They got their page, and they're probably just sharing what they saw, just like me, right? Just like what I told y'all a second ago, things that resonate with me, I share. So that might be something that resonate with them, and they shared it. And so they may not even know where that comes from, right? They may not even know where that idea and concept come from. Now, to me, it sounds antichrist. It sounds like some antichrist spirit put that up on somebody's heart and mind to create that image to then share and then ultimately spread across the world, and whatnot. And just like somebody might think the same thing about me. Oh, well, somebody put this, da 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 da, you're sharing it, da da da. Hey, by all means, I guess I'm sharing this part of the conversation or what happened this morning because, again, as we are approaching this new year and we're trying to see God's vision clearly, there's just certain things that we gotta just, be okay with when it comes to being a believer. And that's one is believing that the Bible is true, right? And believing that what it says is right, and things like that. Like you got to be able to stand firm on that belief as a believer. If you're gonna believe in Christ, that's that's like bare minimum, right? You got to believe that what it says is true, which means that there's a God, and that, Christ is God, is that God. It just, I mean, obviously it's deep or whatever, but still, like, those are concepts that we have to, believe and stand on as Christians. Um, and everything like that. So that's one thing. And I mean, again, your vision is going to be a little hazy, right? Or if you're not, willing to stand on that, then, you may not understand God's vision for 2023 or nothing else in regards to your purpose, the plan, or his plan for you. Um, you know, um, so I don't know who this is for. I don't know who this is for today. If it is it for me, I ain't gonna lie, like when I saw it and whatnot, the questions come into your mind and you start to wonder, and this, that, and the other. But I, like, again, like I was saying the other day, I feel like the Lord has done too much for me to go back to any idea beyond what he has shown me in my life. So that's just me, but for anybody that may be listening to the sound of my voice or watching this or whatever the case is, and if you're struggling with this idea, then again, go to the Lord. Is the best place to go, because this is the other thing too. What I was receiving is that, and as I was reading these different verses, it's like having visions and hearing prophecies and all that type of stuff is good, right? But we have to be careful, because there are people that are out here speaking their own ideas, just like that individual that is sharing their own idea. And even this morning I was listening. You know what, Lord, you put everything together. Okay, all right. So even this morning I was listening, and there was this lady, I guess you would say prophetess or whatnot, and her title stood out to me, because of what someone else had proclaimed over me earlier this year. And so when I saw the title of her message, of her video, I watched it because I was like, okay, I got a little time to watch it. And I'm watching it, and she spent more time seeming to be talking to some people in particular. And I guess people that follow her ministry, I guess I am assuming the way she was talking, it sounds like her and her husband's ministry or something like that. And because she just kept reiterating that if you're with our ministry, this is for you. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Because I'm not familiar with her. I just came across her on the YouTube feed, but her title stood out because I was thinking that perhaps, based on what I had heard, it might be for me. Obviously, it might be for this conversation. There's a reason why her title stood out. But I'm not saying that she's you know what, this is a term that I've coined, y'all. It's funny to me. All right. So no offense to the lady. That's why I'm not saying her name. I'm not saying she's a prophet liar. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is maybe her message wasn't necessarily for me, the way I thought originally it could have been, based on what she was saying, and as well as based on like her reiteration about our ministry, and everything like that. So therefore, listening to prophetic voices and all that type of stuff, we got to be careful about it. I mean, it's just like, I guess, seeking in a crystal ball or something. I think it's better to seek the Lord. Even this morning, as I was reflecting on some verses and whatnot, and not saying I'm reading conflicting verses, because the verses aren't conflicted, but sometimes, like, it went from me thinking about, writing down the vision, making it plain, all the stuff that I had listened to this morning with the prayer meditation. And then I came across the verse that was telling me, hey, be wary of those that are trying to, and I'm paraphrasing here, and I don't think I wrote that verse down. So y'all got to look it up for yourself. Basically, there's a verse that says, basically be careful about those that are pretty much just puffing you up, and things like that, because they are pretty much prophesying from their own minds and not the mind of God. But then at the same time, I come across verses that are telling me, that God is not going to make moves without letting his prophets know, in regards to, to be able to warn us and things like that. And so, again, we gotta, test the spirits and everything like that. Is this lining up with Bible? Is this lining up with the word? Is this confirmation for me in my life? The things that I'm hearing. And so again, I guess all of this is something to think about and to consider when we're trying to see through the haze, right? When we're trying to get a clear understanding of God's vision, his plan, his purpose for us. And so listen, I promise y'all, all I do is write down Bible verses in the morning, and then I just pray and ask the Lord to speak through me. And I'm telling you, none of that stuff made sense this morning when I was doing all of that stuff. None of it makes sense, but it makes so much more sense now that I'm sitting here telling you all and talking to y'all. So to God be the glory, at least from what I'm receiving by hearing this. I hope that you all are receiving something. But anyway, let's get into this, these verses and whatnot. So one of the first verses that I felt led to write down this morning was Ecclesiastes 3:11. It says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity into man's heart, yet so that he cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end." So, I mean, I feel like I already talked about this. Basically, it's just reiterating this idea that, there may be some things that God has not revealed to us yet. There may be some hidden things. And that's okay. That's okay. It's better to get the information when you need to get it versus feeling some way about knowing the full plan and vision. Again, we're walking into 2023 in a few days, and we might not know exactly everything that's going to happen. Like, I got some little things written down. Even I've been seeking to y'all as well, and asking y'all to, hey, can y'all let me know what kind of content y'all want? Let me know what y'all want to see and hear from the God, Sex, and Love channel, everything like that. But, I'm walking into this, and not knowing fully what the Lord wants to do with me, for me, and through me. I have some general ideas and things like that. But I'm at a place that I'm at peace with that. Finally, I'm at a place of peace with being okay with not seeing the full vision right now. Like, we're not even in 2023 right now anyway. At the end of the day, the Bible does tell us that we need to, on today, because tomorrow's not promised, and the past is already gone. And, we have enough issues and things to worry about on this day, than to worry about anything in regards to the future. So, there's nothing wrong with getting some ideas together, setting some goals, I don't know, resolutions and all that good stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with, thinking about some things to do better in the new year, and seeking the Lord for what he wants to do. That's the main thing. Seek the Lord for what he wants to do with you, for you, and through you in this upcoming year. But at the same time, again, taking it day by day, there's something to that. And that's what I'm receiving when it comes to that. Let me keep going, y'all, because I got not quite a bit, but a little bit to share. So then I came across Romans 10:9. And actually, what? Okay, so this is one of these times, like these next few verses that I intend to share. I think I want to share them all together, but they're going to be individual verses from individual places, and so I'm going to read each individual place that these verses are coming from, and then I'm going to read the in their entirety, because by the time I wrote this down, I was really feeling like this was a statement for now, and possibly something to give us an idea of what the Lord wants to do in 2023. Just saying, again, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, I get it. You know what I mean? Everything might not be for everybody, and everybody might not get it or understand, but that's what I felt led to do this morning. So here we go. So what I'm going to be reading is Romans 10:9. I'm also going to read Ephesians 2:8-9. And all of these are in the Go Deeper section as well. So y'all don't have to write it down. If you just go in the Go Deeper section, you guys can see the verses written down for y'all. 2 Corinthians 6:2, and then Romans 8:28. Now I'm going to read this all like it's a paragraph or a monologue or whatever, however you want to look at it. But those are the verses that I'm reading. All right. And in that order. All right. So here we go. Because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. For he says, in a favorable time I listened to you, and in a day of salvation I have helped you. Behold, now is the favorable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. And we know that it's for, excuse me, y'all. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. So there you go, y'all. There you go. I mean, if we want to get a clear understanding and vision and a clear look at God's plan and everything like that, if we want to see through the haze, I think it starts there. I believe that what the Lord shared with me in the Go Deeper section, the verses that I came across when I actually looked up Seeing Through the Haze this morning, which is what I put in the Go Deeper section, may give a little bit more insight as well on these things. It's a lot. It's the entirety of Colossians 2, the entirety of Colossians 3, and then also Romans 8:1-39. But hey, if you feel led to go deeper and check that out, by all means, please do, because that's the juice, y'all. That is the juice for today. Now, the Bible verse of today is Psalm 42:11. It says, "Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why not thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him who is the health of my countenance and my God." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. And just a reminder, I understand that tomorrow is Friday, and we usually have the talk show, but because New Year's Eve is approaching and everything like that, we will not have the GSL talk show tomorrow either. But we should, if the Lord's will, have it started back up next week in the new year, if the Lord's will. All right. Well, yeah, look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. If you guys want to know, we are currently at 333 subscribers on our YouTube. So thank you to all of you that have already subscribed. If you have not subscribed, we are trying to get to 500 before the end of the year, if possible. So by all means, if you can support by, going to our YouTube, you should see a link wherever you guys see this. Go there and support us by joining our subscriber list and join our giveaway. We're trying to give away this game called Bedroom Rendezvous. Here's a little sneak peek side of it. And a $25 gift card as well to Romantic Blessings. So yeah, that's what we're doing, trying to reach that before the end of the year, y'all. Just putting it out there for those that want to support. Again, we're at 332, I think, last time I looked. So thank you to those who have already done that. That's what we're trying to do and reach before the end of the year. And so yeah, we'll see what the Lord do with everything. But thank you all so much for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing. And I know I said I was going to read that thing, but I need to save what I just recorded. So let me see. Let me just do this real quick. I'm gonna test my little thingy here. Make sure my sound was good. Podcast. That's what I'm recording when I do this in the morning. So do y'all understand what I'm doing? Now that I feel like more people are watching and listening to this, basically the juice, your daily dose of inspiration, is just like Bible study. It's like beginners Bible study, self Bible study, like taking out that time for yourself and I'm taking out that time to do that, and I'm just sharing it with others. In the hope that they take out time and do it as well. But that's pretty much all it is. I mean, I know that again, like we had to, I'm trying to make sure that things are clear on the channel, because I know that we have pretty much, I guess you would say, expanded beyond the original vision for GSL. Because the original concept of GSL was just the talk show. It was never everything else that y'all see. So God has, expanded that vision since I kicked things off in 2020. And I've been embracing that, and I'm okay with that. But I understand that it might be misleading, or people might be misunderstanding what is happening. So again, if people are looking for Christian sex content, we've created a playlist that is dedicated to all the things and conversations and the Bible, whatever, all the little things that we have created thus far that is centered around sex in particular is in a playlist now. And it's called Let's Talk About Sex. If you go to our YouTube channel, God, Sex, and Love, then you should be able to see it like right there. So there's easy access for you, you know what I'm saying? and everything like that. But for those that, want to see the GSL talk show, that is a playlist as well. If you guys want to see the Daily Dose of Inspiration, this is on the playlist as well. We have other shows and concepts, and one part of the things that I believe that the Lord wants to do with me and for me and through me in 2023, if the Lord's will, of course, is more shows. Like there's more concepts that we already have in the works in regards to ideas and stuff, but I think maybe even more are coming. Yes, I want to work on movies and stuff as well, so y'all be praying for me and things like that. If y'all want to support in any aspect, I mean, we do have that available as well, because it's coming. Movies are coming. I want to make more music. I actually was sitting here thinking about that this morning as well, that there's a song, I think I shared it with y'all, those that listen to me on the Juice. Long story short, there's a song that my dad was writing before he passed that I want to re-record, and I imagined it and basically made my own version of his song, and I want to record that soon. So I might put it out as a single. We'll see what the Lord do, but hopefully I can do that in 2023. There's a lot of things on the horizon and stuff, and I'm excited. I'm excited to say the least. So I appreciate those of y'all that do support us monthly, and those that just supporting any aspect, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. Of course, yes, it would be good to reach those goals, those YouTube goals, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys want to help out with that, just email me or something like that. If you guys want to be, I was thinking about making a like an ambassador program or something like that for GSL. So if you're interested in stuff like that, email me. If you want to be on the talk show, email me. Easy access to me thus far. What was today's episode called, y'all? Just kidding. Seeing Through the Haze. I hope that what the Lord was sharing this morning helps you out, see his vision and plan for you a little bit clearer. You know what I'm saying? I truly hope and pray that is something. Let me look at this real quick and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Okay. So today's prayer meditation, this is what it said when I logged in. It says, filter the noise from the events of the year and listen to his vision for the year ahead. So that's what the prayer meditation that I listened to this morning was centered around. And I thought it was really good to, again, that was part of the inspiration for today's juice or Bible study, or however you guys want to look at it. But anyway, Yes, y'all have a wonderful Thursday. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.